Hi friends, as always I'm very excited to see you here. If you're meeting for the first time, I'm Shankar Pandey and this is the Dr. USP channel. Let's see clickbait explained in this video. We'll find out there are 7 characteristics that can be attributed to clickbait headlines. On reaching the landing page, the social media user is generally left disappointed as the information promised in the clickbait is not what he is looking for. Traditionally, headlines present a concise and factual account of the story described in the article or a summary of its key points. Clickbait is specifically designed to entice a reader to click on a link, but which offers very little reward for doing so. Clickbait has a particularly negative reputation. We are exposed daily with a plethora of clickbait or headlines designed to persuade users to click on them by evoking curiosity and intrigue. Increasingly, respectable news outlets of established mainstream media have resorted to clickbait strategies as well in order to gain user attention in a crowded information space. Clickbait content tends to focus on certain topics. It tends to either be light-hearted, popularist, and sensationalist, or it relates directly to the reader by promising to reveal something about their personality via a quiz or a test of some sort. As a tool of persuasion, clickbait employs linguistic strategies that take advantage of the curiosity gap. Clickbait arouses the curiosity of the reader by making them aware of an apparent gap in their knowledge. Lowenstein says that curiosity is a cognitively induced deprivation that arises from the perception of a gap in knowledge or understanding. Clickbait is designed to create an information gap. This gap arouses curiosity in the reader. Let's see these clickbait examples. 11 mind-blowing ways to eat paneer. Stop everything and look at these adorably stylish cats. Someone calculated how rich Harry Potter was and the answer is surprising. Are you more Manmohan Tiwari or Vibhuti Mishra? Clickbait headlines arouse curiosity by telling us that highly relevant information exists while not actually providing us with the information itself. Instead, we are promised that it is just a click away. This is typical of clickbait headlines and is one way in which they differ from other headlines that we might find online or offline. According to Peter Koshley, a good social media headline seduces people to click through by telling them enough to whet their curiosity, but not enough to fulfill it, and social headlines need to create a curiosity gap. Too vague and nobody cares. Too specific and nobody needs to click. A key feature of clickbait is the gap in quality between what is promised by the headlines and what is delivered. The information found on the landing site is generally disappointing and misleading. In 2016, Pegnate found that often, even if we know that we are being clickbaited, we click nevertheless. One key difference between standard tabloid headlines and clickbait headlines is the completeness of the information that is contained in the headline itself. Unlike clickbait, the non-clickbait headlines provide a complete overview of the article to which they link, and they cover all of the key details of the story. The headline is complete in itself. Let's see another example. Obama says gay marriage should be legal. Secondly, now this is why I voted for Barack Obama. The first headline is written to maximize Google search results using SEO optimization. The second attracts a user's attention as they are browsing and arouses curiosity and induces them to click on the link. By drawing the reader's attention to this, direct someone's attention towards something. The use of this in the headline is the equivalent of pointing towards the landing site, and it is reasonable for the reader to assume that they will find out what this is if they follow the link. The use of forward-referring expressions is a characteristic of clickbaits. 7 characteristics are recurrent in clickbaits: questions, lists, WH words, why, where, when, what, demonstrative adjectives, example here, this, these, positive superlatives, best, bigger, negative superlatives, worst ever, and modals, example should or would. In the list format on a particular theme, the expectation is that the reader will encounter a series of facts, examples, or tips about that theme on reading the article. Another form of clickbait headline uses function words such as what, which, when, where, who, whom, whose, why, whether, and how. It is different from question headlines. This clickbait characteristic does not ask an actual question or inquiry when utilizing such function words. Demonstrative adjectives, example this or that, indicates a particular entity and distinguishes it from other entities. When several entities are compared, the positive superlative refers to the entity that is at the highest limit of the group. For example, best or closest. Negative superlatives are also often used in clickbait headlines. It refers to the entity that is at the lowest limit of the group in a particular characteristic. Example, worst or least. Another clickbait technique is the use of auxiliary verb that expresses possibility, suggestion, or example. Example, could or must. For example, why you must drive after 8 p.m. Clickbaits are more likely to raise curiosity when they are perceived as creative and are often preferred over merely informative headlines. According to Molina and others in 2021, headlines written as non-clickbait receive the same or equal engagement compared to clickbait headlines. Moreover, users perceive non-clickbait as more credible and less deceptive. They are also able to induce user curiosity to a higher extent than clickbait, probably because they are processed more deeply by users. Determining whether a headline is clickbait or not is quite complex. It does not simply depend on a few key linguistic characteristics like using a listicle or framing it as a question. It also depends on the nature of the automated classifier used to distinguish clickbaits from non-clickbaits. One way to boost credibility and differentiate from other types of content online for news organizations to stick to non-clickbait headlines. Thanks for staying along, friends. As always, it has been a delight having you here. I'll be back with you another video very soon. Till then, have a great time.